Hello and welcome to News 18 Showsha. Today we have with us someone who's among the first few names when you think of music. Ustad Zakir Hussain. Thank you so much for being on our channel, sir. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing fine. I'm in India, my home. It's the month of Guru Purnima, where we celebrate and honor our teachers, our gurus. So I just finished a tour with our group Shakti. We are celebrating our 50th year.
Right.
And our new record just came out. It's called This Moment.
This Moment.
It's called This Moment. And so the tour was successful and I'm home. And in spite of jet lag, it is great to be here and looking forward to playing, celebrating Guru Purnima with my Guru brothers and sisters and remembering my father, our Guru.
Yes, sir.
And also to doing the new piece for the new season of the Symphony Orchestra of India here at NCPA.
Right. Coming to Symphony Orchestra of India, sir, you've been associated with them for a very long time. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us what can we expect from you this time?
I have had the opportunity to compose one piece for them before. It was commissioned and it was called Peshkar. That was out and out a rhythm-oriented orchestra piece.
Right.
But this one is much more melodic, and the reason for that is because two of the finest young instrumentalists of our country, Neeladri Kumar Bhai, sitar player, and flute maestro Rakesh Chaurasia, are part of this. They've agreed to do it. I'm really very, very happy and thankful to them. And so there is much more focus on the melodic element, and therefore a much bigger challenge when it comes to working raga modes with the Western sensibility of harmony and counterpoints and so on. And so I feel that if there are any two musicians in the world of Indian classical music who can adapt to that kind of mindset where they can interact with their Indian music sensibilities, with Western harmonies and counterpoint-oriented orchestral composition, then Rakesh Bhai and Neeladri Bhai would be the two who would do that. So I'm happy that they agreed and grateful to SOI for, offering me to do this piece again. And after we premiere it here, we're going to take it to England and play it in 3 or 4 different cities there.
Wow. Wow. So you've been playing across different platforms, different stages, different countries. At any point in your career, have you had an experience where you had, you met with a different perspective of music, a different culture, and that has stayed with you for a long time?
There are elements of every genre of music, and therefore cultural, background of that genre of music that has appealing qualities. I mean, one of the most important forms of American music is jazz.
Right.
It's the one form that was invented in America. So, and it's world over recognized. So that coming into play with Indian music is something that is of enormous appeal to me. And one of the things that is very interesting between the two music is you can say they're cousins. And the reason being that the main core of their creative process is that they both rely on improvising. And so improvising means you have to create spontaneously. And that's one of the reasons why there is much more collaboration all over the world amongst Indian musicians and jazz musicians.
Correct.
And it happens a lot. So that's great. And so that stays with me a lot, the jazz ideas and folk music all over the world. When I hear the Bulgarian choir, or when I hear the Gregorian chants, or flamenco, and how to say, country blues.
Correct.
Those kind of stuff, bluegrass and stuff. This is music that comes from the earth of that region.
Correct.
And therefore, it has this organic appeal to it that refined form of music has to use a bit of in order to be able to make it a much more systemized form. So therefore, that is something that I look forward to, and it always stays with me. When I go to different parts of India, I love to listen to the folk music of that part of the country, whether it's Rajasthan or Punjab or Bengal or Assam or Kerala or anywhere. So, and they all have a very specific form of music that represents the people of that part of the world. And so that is something that I focus on. That is something that usually stays with me, and that is something that helps me to be able to write or music or interact or compose with musicians of that part of the world.
Correct, sir. True. So when it comes to music on a global scale, India obviously is recognized by two means. It's the classical music and then it's Bollywood.
Yeah.
Basically. But unfortunately...
No, wait, there's also folk.
Absolutely, sir. I agree. In international genre, there is.
I mean, look at Bollywood music. It relies so much on folk music of India, whether it's Rajasthan or Punjab.
Absolutely.
And stuff. So they use a lot of that.
Absolutely. But in India, sir, Bollywood clearly somewhere overshadows the classical scenario. You know, somewhere unfortunately is considered niche. How do you think we can probably change this?
Well, first of all, you have to change the way you word it.
Okay.
It does not overshadow it.
Okay.
It's just a form of music that has a major appeal.
Okay.
And Indian classical music has a form of, it's a form of music that has a niche appeal.
Absolutely.
And for us to think that Indian classical music should be in the same vein as Bollywood is wrong, because one is a chamber art form and one is an entertainment, big mass appeal art form.
Absolutely right, sir.
So for us to compare the two, first of all, that's wrong. And secondly, to say that one is overshadowing the other is wrong, because it's not true. I mean, look at it this way. There's zillions of people who love to go eat pani puris.
Right, sir.
Okay? But then there are some people who would like to go eat paya or like to go eat, how should I say, some special kind of saag or something, sarson ka saag or roti. I mean, that's what it is. And it does not mean that, that the appeal of one is any less. It just means that the appeal of this particular thing belongs in this one bubble. Okay, and then the other thing to remember is that Indian classical music, even though looking like it's a puny little bee compared to the gigantic tree, which is Bollywood music, is wrong. Because if you look at it in terms of its growth, Bollywood music has grown.
Correct.
Okay, it has grown, you can say 10 times, 20 times, and you wouldn't be wrong in saying that. But if you look at Indian classical music and other folkish or whatever form of music, ghazal or anything you want to call it, that has grown by 300 or 400%.
Yes, sir.
I mean, from a form that used to be listened to by 150 or 200 people at one time, now you have festivals that have 5,000, 10,000, 8,000 people coming to the concerts of Indian classical music. Does that mean it's being overshadowed by Bollywood? No. But the fact of the matter is that it is developing an audience that is a dedicated and devoted audience, and will stay with it, and therefore in some ways will spawn more growth. And so, yes. So there is no overshadowing business.
I understand.
They both have their own wings, and they will live in harmony with each other.
Completely, sir. So one last question. How do you think that the audience have evolved, you know, in the terms of the music that they demand, the music that they love, they perceive?
I think the audiences are much more receptive now and much more refined now.
Okay.
And much more discerning.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because they now have the opportunity to be able to pre-educate themselves before going to a concert.
Right.
You can Google an artist, you can watch them on YouTube or Facebook or something, and then see what they do and enjoy that. First of all, they first see them and if they like it, they go buy a ticket to come to the concert.
True,
so they know what to look for, they know what to listen to, and they know what appeals to them about that artist. And so there is some familiarity, not only for the audience, but also for the artist. The artist knows that the audience is clearly informed about him or her, and therefore is much more relaxed, much more confident, much more at ease, and therefore able to give a performance that reflects all those elements and emotions and feelings in a calm way. And so yeah, I would say that the audiences have really grown in intelligence and their development as listeners by leaps and bounds.
Great. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
My
It was a
pleasure,
pleasure.
Bhaiya.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.